So guys, what's going on? So guys, the internet is broke with everybody finding out about, the Mayweather announcing the Logan Paul fight February 20th. Everyone's got their opinions about it, and most boxing fans, hardcore boxing fans, are not happy. They think it's a load of nonsense. They think it's rubbish that Mayweather's fighting Logan Paul. And I can understand where boxing fans are coming from. I can understand why boxing fans are not happy with the fact that a legend like Floyd Mayweather is going to be fighting a novice like Logan Paul in a boxing ring, and Logan Paul's gonna. I think a lot of people have this problem as well, that there's many boxers that are great boxers that won't earn anywhere near the amount of money that Logan Paul will probably get for that fight. And I think people just think that's unfair. I think people think, boxers work their whole life to get themselves in a position where they can become world champions. And this guy, just because he's famous and he's got a fan following, right? He's gonna come in and make millions and millions and millions on millions for a guy that's not even like here in the UK, may not even be Southern area level. And they just feel that this is a guy that is going to come and make millions, who doesn't deserve that kind of money. I think a lot of people have a problem with that as well. And listen, I understand that. That it's like, imagine a famous person saying that he's going to go play football and he was going to make more money than, for example, a great football player, just because he's more famous than them. That's nonsense, because at the end of the day, the sport should be about your talent and skill, and that should get you more money, not because you're famous, right? That could mean a football player could be really famous, but he's not as good as somebody else, but he gets paid more. It doesn't really, in football, it doesn't work like that, to be fair. You get paid for how good you are, really. You get paid for how good you are and what you bring to the team. Whether you're famous is relevant. David Beckham was famous, but he wasn't earning more than Ronaldo and Messi. I'm pretty sure he wasn't earning in football what he was making from football. I don't know, maybe outside of football, yes, but I'm talking within football. I don't think he was making more than Messi and Ronaldo. So, and rightfully so, he doesn't deserve to. He wasn't as good as them, So, I think the same here. I think Logan Paul doesn't deserve the money that he's going to get. However, he has marketed himself and he's a superstar. But he can make money other ways. He's going to make a lot of money from something that he's not a professional at. That something that he's a novice at. He's not a professional boxer. So he's a novice at it, and he's gonna make millions on it. And there's many great fighters that won't make anywhere near the amount of money he's gonna get in that fight. So yeah, I think there'll be a lot of boxers that disagree with it and be envious of it, because they feel that we're boxers and we train so hard, and this guy's just gonna come in and make millions and he can't even box. That's what people are gonna think. So I can understand why a lot of boxers, a lot of fans are not happy with the fact that Logan Paul is going to make a shed load of money. And a lot of people also feel that Mayweather's ruining his legacy by doing that. I don't think you can ruin his legacy. I'll tell you why. Because he's already secured his legacy. He's already fought all the great fighters in his era. He's already beat all of the great fighters in his era. So he's already had a great career. You can't say, well, he's ruining his legacy when he's already done it all when he was younger. I don't feel like you can ruin your legacy because you're having a few exhibition fights. That's not really ruining his legacy, in my opinion, anyway. I just think he's now making money, and many fighters do that. Many athletes do that. They decide to retire from international football because they want to prolong their club career. That's just the way it works. Unfortunately, at a certain point, the athlete or the sportsman starts going where the money is, and Mayweather's been doing that, with the McGregor, now here with that Japanese guy, and now with Logan Paul. That's what he's doing. He's just having exhibition fights and making shed load of money, and you can't really blame him for it. You can't really blame. The thing is, people would say Mayweather's got so much money he doesn't need to, but the fact is, money is one of those things. It's addictive. You never have enough. You never have enough, and that's why you always want more. And Mayweather wants more, and that's why he's doing these things. But even though he doesn't need to do it, but the reason why I wanted to make this video, even though I'm almost 5 minutes over 5 minutes, I think Mayweather should, if he wants to fight, he should fight Pacquiao. Mayweather should fight Pacquiao. You know, that is a fight, a rematch that I would have loved to see. I think the first fight didn't live up to expectations. But I just don't think Mayweather wants that rematch with Pacquiao. I don't think he wants that rematch. I think there's too many things that I think that Mayweather, I just don't think Mayweather would fancy that now. He's a lot older. He hasn't fought for 5 years. Last fight was against Berto in 2015. Manny Pacquiao fought recently in 2019 and beat a world champion in Keith Thurman. Manny Pacquiao is still a relevant force in boxing. He's still top 3 welterweight out there. You know, he's ranked top 3. He's still a champion in the welterweight division. He's active, and I just don't think Floyd Mayweather would want to come back and fight him. But I think that's the fight that Floyd Mayweather should have, rather than having these Mickey Mouse, because that would make him a lot of money as well. But it's kind of like the risk and reward ratio there. Like Manny Pacquiao would make him a lot of money, but it's a high risk he could lose, right? Manny Pacquiao's a great fighter, and he's still an active fighter, and he's still a very dangerous fighter for Floyd, and Floyd's been inactive. So that fight now, you'd have to say Manny would be the favorite to win. In terms of Logan Paul, Logan Paul isn't a risk at all. Logan Paul's just as much money, maybe might even be more than Pacquiao, you know, which is ridiculous, by the way. The fact that he can fight a YouTuber and he's going to get more money than maybe fighting Manny Pacquiao. I'm not saying, listen, I'm not sure whether he will get more money to fight Logan Paul than he did with Manny Pacquiao, but he may do. And even if he gets 50 million less than what you would get fighting Manny Pacquiao, you still take that, right? Because risk and reward ratio, you're getting a huge amount of money to fight a guy that's no risk, that you're going to beat easily. He's going to beat Logan Paul easy, right? It's not even a fight. It's not even a matchup. So for me, I really want to see Floyd fight Manny Pacquiao again. But if I'm honest, and if we're honest, I think we have to that fight's not going to happen. He's not going to fight Manny Pacquiao. I don't think Manny Pacquiao's in his plans. He teased us a few times, like a year ago, and then he kind of, you know, took it away like Floyd does. Like he gave us the bread and then took it out of our mouths. That's what Floyd kind of does. But listen, man, he's kind of earned the right. He's a great fighter, man. He's done a lot in his career. I think it's kind of hard to say, well, why is he doing this? He's ruining the sport. Well, no, he did a lot for the sport. Look at what he did. He had a lot of eyes on the sport. You know, he was a great fighter. You know, he generated a lot of money. So he generated a lot of money for himself and the sport. So to be fair, I don't really think you can knock him. I know people don't like Mayweather, and I feel like they just feel that, a lot of people dislike him, despise him, want to see him lose. But at the end of the day, I think if he wants to have a fight with Logan Paul and wants to make a shed load of money, then he can do it. I would just prefer him to fight Manny Pacquiao. I would prefer Floyd Mayweather just to fight Manny Pacquiao over Logan Paul. But however, I can see from his opinion why he wouldn't do that. If I was Floyd Mayweather, I wouldn't fight Manny Pacquiao, because Manny Pacquiao is a dangerous fight for me. It's a fight that I could lose. Why do I, at the age of 42-3, want to go into a fight that I could lose against a guy that's similar age, but he's active, he's a champion, he's been fighting top fighters last couple of years? Mayweather hasn't. So it's a risk for Mayweather, whereas Mayweather had a great career. And just imagine if he comes and loses to Pacquiao. He kind of loses it all. Do you see what I mean? Like, Mayweather's got a lot to lose and not much to gain by fighting Pacquiao, because Mayweather could make that same kind of money fighting a guy with no risk. So what will he get from fighting Pacquiao? So I see from Floyd Mayweather, now from a fan's point of view, from my point of view, I would love to see the Pacquiao fight, because I'm a Pacquiao fan. I like Mayweather. I want to see them fight again. I would love to see, because I know the fight would be the biggest fight in boxing. I know how big it would be. I know that how big both guys are. Both guys are legends. Both guys have huge names, and a fight that would sell regardless of what the first. And I think the most importantly, I think the fight was a dud the first time. So maybe this time it would be more exciting. So uh, I don't want to see Floyd Mayweather fight Logan Paul, but I see why he would fight Logan Paul over a Manny Pacquiao. It makes logical sense. It's quite a logical decision, really, whether you'd fight Logan Paul or Manny Pacquiao if you're Floyd Mayweather. That'd be Logan Paul because the man's no risk. He's gonna make near and out a lot money for Floyd. He's gonna make shed load of money for Floyd, right? So why take a fight with Manny Pacquiao where it's gonna be a lot of money? Yes, but there's a high risk you may lose as well. And why would Floyd Mayweather want to blow everything right now and lose that that he's had? Because for me, I would favor Pacquiao in a rematch. I would. I would favor Pacquiao now. I would favor Pacquiao to beat him. So Mayweather would be risking everything that he's in his whole career when he's inactive, he's old, and Pacquiao's active. Yes, Pacquiao's old, but Pacquiao's been fighting relevant competition, and he's had a relevant win recently. And that really is what's going to be putting Mayweather off. Like, Manny Pacquiao's still a good fighter. He's still a top welterweight. He's 41. He's still a top welterweight. Floyd Mayweather is no longer a top welterweight. Now, some people may feel that if Mayweather comes back, he could beat, some of the welterweights. I don't think he can. He didn't look great against McGregor. Some people thought he carried McGregor, but we don't know. We don't know. Has he been... We all know Mayweather lives the life, and he probably is training as well, but it's not the same as when you're in your prime and you're fighting. 5 years is a long time to be out of the ring. It's a long time to be out of the ring. 5 years to be out of the ring, competitive action for 5 years, and then just to come back. That doesn't get done very often. Even if you're Floyd Mayweather, even if you're as gifted as Floyd Mayweather, you don't just come back after 5 years and take on Manny Pacquiao, who's active, who's old, yes, but active and currently a world champion, and beat him. Even Floyd Mayweather would struggle to do that. And to be honest with you, that's why I think he's fighting Logan Paul, because it's easy money. And you can't blame him, to be honest with you. You can't blame him. Leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think about this. Are you not happy about it? Do you care? Would you rather see him fight Pacquiao? What would you rather see Floyd Mayweather do? I know that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be upset. But do you think he's doing the right thing fighting Logan Paul? Do you think he should just stay away from boxing if he doesn't want to fight Pacquiao or fight a competitive fight? Then just stay away from boxing completely. What's your guys' take on it? Guys, leave your thoughts. Make sure to smash that like button. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace.